Today, we kick off a deep dive into one of baseball's most controversial stories, a saga of legendary talent, unyielding scandal, and the relentless debate over whether MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred should reinstate Pete Rose. This isn't just another sports story, it's an epic narrative that combines passion, humor, and a touch of cinematic drama. Grab your popcorn and settle in as we journey through the highs and lows of Pete Rose's legacy. Act 1. The origins of a legend and his fall. Pete Rose was once revered as a baseball superstar, famously known as Charlie Hustle, for his relentless energy and record-setting achievements on the field. However, behind his heroic image lay a controversial secret, a secret that would ultimately overshadow his accomplishments. In 1989, amidst mounting evidence, Rose was permanently banned from baseball due to his involvement in betting on games, a violation of MLB Rule 21-D. A rule instituted after the Black Sox scandal of 1919 to safeguard the integrity of the sport. Rose's transgressions weren't minor infractions, they struck at the very heart of baseball ethics. Betting on games, especially when in a position to influence outcomes, shattered the trust between players, teams, and fans. Despite his undeniable on-field brilliance, the weight of his off-field decisions cast a long shadow over his legacy. Even as he racked up hits and broke records, the scandal lurked in the background, a constant reminder that greatness in sports is not solely measured by statistics. Act 2. The prediction and the petition. Fast forward to the modern era. In a twist of fate that seems almost scripted by destiny, Pete Rose predicted that his Hall of Fame chances would only be realized after his death. Just 10 days before succumbing to heart disease, he famously remarked during an interview with sportscaster John Condit, "I've come to the conclusion, I hope I'm wrong, that I'll make the Hall of Fame after I die." His words, dripping with both irony and resignation, hinted at a future where public sentiment might overcome decades of controversy. After his passing last September, a petition demanding his reinstatement was launched in January, capturing the attention of fans, media, and even political figures. Former President Donald Trump was among those vocally urging MLB to get off its fat, lazy ass and welcome Rose into the Hall of Fame. This petition has ignited a firestorm of debate, pitting nostalgia and public pressure against the enduring principles of baseball's ethical code. Act 3. The ethical dilemma, rules versus redemption. At the core of this debate lies MLB Rule 21-D, a statute that has remained unyielding since its inception over a century ago. This rule is not just a piece of outdated policy, it is a guardian of the sport's integrity. According to the rule, any player, manager, or official involved in betting on baseball games is declared permanently ineligible. Despite the evolution of sports gambling and its modern acceptance, MLB continues to enforce this rule rigorously. Without exception. Let's break down the hard facts. Overwhelming evidence. There is ample documentation showing that Rose engaged in betting on baseball, both as a player and as a manager. A path not taken. At one point, Rose was given an opportunity for reinstatement, on the condition that he come clean and dissociate from gambling. Yet, his pride and personal convictions led him to decline this chance, effectively cementing his fate. Integrity at stake. Betting on one's own team to win is more than a mere misstep. It's a serious breach that can compromise the fairness and unpredictability of the game. As a manager, Rose had the power to influence outcomes, a responsibility that he betrayed through his actions. If Manfred decides to reinstate Rose, it would send a seismic message that even the gravest violations could be forgiven if public sentiment reaches a boiling point. Critics warn that such a move would undermine the long-standing principles that have kept baseball fair and honorable for generations. Act 4. The cinematic twist. A ghost in the Hall of Fame? Imagine this scenario as if it were a blockbuster film. Our once great hero, now relegated to the shadows of infamy, returns, not on the field, but in the revered halls of baseball history. In this surreal twist, Pete Rose becomes a spectral figure, a posthumous legend whose story is as enigmatic as it is tragic. The irony is palpable. A man celebrated for his athletic prowess, yet forever tarnished by his choices. is now at the center of a debate that blends redemption with bitter nostalgia. In this cinematic retelling, we see Commissioner Manfred as the reluctant judge in a drama that has unfolded over decades. Picture him in his office, bombarded by petitions, social media outcries, and impassioned pleas from fans and political figures alike. His decision isn't just about one man, it's a statement about the very nature of accountability, forgiveness, and the preservation of sportsmanship. The question looms large. Should the ghost of gambling past be allowed to haunt the present and future of baseball? ACT 5. The tension builds, the impact of a decision. The stakes couldn't be higher. Reinstating Pete Rose would not only alter his personal legacy but would also set a dangerous precedent for other controversial figures in baseball history. Imagine the ripple effects. If one of the sport's most notorious rule breakers is given a second chance posthumously, what message does that send to current players and future generations? The integrity of the game might be compromised, and the bedrock values of fairness and accountability could be called into question. Supporters of reinstatement argue that Rose's phenomenal contributions on the field warrant recognition, a final act of redemption for a complex figure. They claim that the Hall of Fame should honor the brilliance of his career, despite his off-field transgressions. Meanwhile, purists and traditionalists hold firm. The rules were made for a reason. And bending them, even in the name of nostalgia, risks eroding the moral fabric of baseball. In a world where public opinion can be a powerful force, the pressure on Commissioner Manfred is immense. Every tweet, every Facebook post, and every Reddit thread fuels the debate, making it not just a sports story but a cultural phenomenon. The decision will echo through the annals of history, influencing how future cases of misconduct are handled in the sport. ACT 6. The humorous perspective, laughing at the irony. Let's take a moment to inject some humor into this high-stakes drama. Picture a satirical news segment where sports pundits, with exaggerated expressions and tongue-in-cheek commentary, debate the absurdity of a posthumous reinstatement. What's next? One might quip. Will we see the ghost of Babe Ruth batting practice with phantom teammates? The humor lies in the irony, the very idea that a legend, long gone, could be revived in the eyes of the institution he once defied. This comedic twist doesn't detract from the seriousness of the issue, rather, it highlights the bizarre intersection of tradition, politics, and modern fandom. In today's digital age, where memes and viral content shape public discourse, the reinstatement debate takes on a life of its own. The spectacle is both tragic and laughable, a reminder that sometimes the line between reverence and ridicule is thinner than we imagine. ACT 7. The climax, the decision lies with Manfred. As the debate reaches its fever pitch, all eyes turn to MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred. The weight of history, public opinion, and the sanctity of the game rests squarely on his shoulders. With a petition signed by thousands and vocal support from influential figures, the pressure is relentless. Manfred is tasked with a decision that goes beyond one man's legacy. It's about upholding the fundamental principles of baseball. On one side, reinstating Pete Rose could be seen as an act of posthumous grace, a final acknowledgement of his remarkable career. On the other side, it would signal that even the most flagrant violations can be overlooked if sentiment and political clout reach a critical mass. This isn't just a matter of nostalgia, it's a test of the integrity of the sport itself. Every statistic, every historical precedent, and every passionate plea from fans converges on this moment. Manfred's decision will not only determine whether Rose finally finds his place in the Hall of Fame but will also set the tone for how MLB addresses controversies in the future. The eyes of the world are watching, and the echoes of this decision will resonate through the corridors of baseball history for years to come. ACT 8. The aftermath, the legacy of a controversy. Imagine a future where the debate over Pete Rose's reinstatement becomes a case study in sports ethics classes, dissected alongside other legendary controversies. Whether hailed as a martyr of baseball's golden age or condemned as a symbol of irredeemable rule-breaking, his story will serve as a powerful reminder of the complexities inherent in sportsmanship and accountability. The decision that lies ahead is not merely administrative, it is philosophical. It forces us to ask, can a legacy marred by controversy ever be fully redeemed by talent alone? And if forgiveness is granted only in death, what does that say about our values as a society? As we grapple with these questions, the story of Pete Rose challenges us to reflect on the nature of redemption, the limits of mercy, and the enduring importance of integrity in the game we all love. Epilogue. The call to action. Today, as we stand at the crossroads of history and modern sentiment, the fate of Pete Rose hangs in the balance. This isn't just a debate for baseball aficionados, it's a conversation about legacy, ethics, and the evolution of our cultural values. Whether you're a lifelong fan, a casual observer, or someone who revels in a good controversy, this story invites you to ponder. Where do we draw the line between talent and transgression? As you watch this video, I invite you to join the conversation. Share your thoughts in the comments. Should the sanctity of the game prevail? Or does public sentiment hold the power to rewrite history? Let's laugh, debate, and learn together as we navigate the tangled web of sports, scandal, and redemption. Thank you for joining me on this cinematic journey through one of baseball's most compelling controversies. Stay tuned for more deep dives, insightful analysis, and a healthy dose of humor as we continue to explore the stories that shape our world. Until next time, keep questioning, keep laughing, and remember that in the grand theater of sports, every legend, no matter how flawed, has a story worth telling. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.